Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about how you can make time to read more books. These are some of the things that have helped me read more books throughout my day. I wasn't really much of an avid reader. I was definitely like a mood reader, but ever since basically doing these things I'm about to list out to you, they've really helped me like read more consistently and enjoy reading and really make it like a part of my day. So hopefully these tips will help you out, and let's get into it. First tip that I have is to check when you have free time. Now I know this can be really hard to even think about because you're probably thinking, I don't have any free time, but I'm pretty sure you do. Think about a time within your day where like you really have nothing going on. And for most people, I would say it's like probably the nighttime, that you really have nothing, unless you're like working a night shift, and that's different. But maybe the nighttime is the time that you're most free, maybe early in the morning while you're waiting the bus. Just note down and keep a mental note of when are the times that you literally have like nothing to do, whether it's like waiting for something or having a break or on your way to somewhere. Like note down these times where like you're not really doing much, or like you don't necessarily have to do anything that's like take much of your mental capacity. Note them down because this will come in handy for tip 2. The tip that I have is to set the mood. So once you figure out which time is the best for you to just sit down and be able to read, then you want to be able to set the mood for reading. So for example, let's say you figure out, okay, I have a lunch break or I have a break in between my classes, then you can find some sort of way that would make you most comfortable to be reading. So for instance, for me personally, I like to read with like sounds of the rain, or sometimes smooth jazz, or sometimes just like silence if I'll like just put my headphones in so I can like cancel out the noise and whatnot. You need to figure out what type of mood that you would most likely be more encouraged to read in. And the key with this is to making sure that you're really comfortable. Again, this may be hard if you're like, maybe let's say on your way to work, or you're in not necessarily like a comfortable place, like maybe like at work or at school. And if that's the case, then as I mentioned in my previous tip, maybe reading at night in bed or early in the morning and setting the mood for that time specifically for when you're reading would help you more than to try to figure out a time to read during the day or during like, the times where you're moving a lot. So my third tip is to pick a book you actually enjoy reading. Now, I know sometimes there's like books that everyone raves about and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to start reading that because everyone else says that they like it. And you read it and you're like, you know what, I don't like it, but everyone else says they like it. Maybe there's something wrong with me or whatnot. If you do not like a book, even if everyone's reading it, just drop. Just read the books that you actually enjoy and read whatever is most easiest to you. I know for me, for instance, like I really enjoy reading manga right now currently, and to read a book that doesn't include pictures, so like a basic books with just words, honestly I don't find it fun. Like I don't find it too enjoyable right now. Maybe previously I did, but right now I don't. And so for me to force myself to read a book that isn't a manga, it would not be enjoyable for me, and it would actually deter me from reading. So you definitely want to figure out again, what type of book do you really want to read in that moment? Maybe you want to listen to an audiobook, and that's another great way to start reading more. Yeah, like I said before, don't force yourself to read any book that you really do not want to. Read what you like, read what you're gravitated towards, and again, it'll make it that much more enjoyable. My fourth tip is to set a timer, and with this, I think that it's really helpful, especially if you're again, maybe a really busy person. Setting a timer for maybe, let's say 5 minutes, you read a portion of your book. You read it or you listen to it, and doing this will help you feel a sense of fulfillment, okay, I was able to read at least just even for 5 minutes. For me, setting a timer, okay, I have 5 minutes or 10 minutes to just read this. I set it, I read it, and once the timer goes off, it's okay, at least I read something, And again, it will help you feel a sense of fulfillment, and you'll feel much more at ease knowing that you at least got to read something. Last and final tip that I have, and this one can also tie in with the last one, but this one's a little bit different. So maybe you don't necessarily have a specific time that you have a free time, as I mentioned in my first tip. So if that's the case, then maybe having even set aside a day where you just read. And this doesn't have to be the whole day, but this could be for example, if you work, let's say Monday through Friday, and then you have the weekends off, maybe set a time an hour on Saturday that you just get to read. You don't do anything else but read. Or maybe whenever you have either your days off or you don't have school, figure out which days that you don't have that much work to do or you have little to no work to do, and set aside certain amount of time, so like a timer, so like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, even an hour, to just read whatever you want to. And again, this will help you increase like the amount of books that you read. When you have a certain day that like you'll have a specific time set to read, then again you'll feel more fulfilled. You'll be like, oh, I was able to read, you know, this amount of books today. And it'll also make you more excited, because then you'll be looking forward to those days. So like, let's say again with the Monday to Friday example, like let's say you work through Monday and Friday, you'll be more excited for the weekend because you know that you're gonna have at least that hour to yourself to just read. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.